Good morning, stampers and crafters. My name is Tami White from stampwithtami.com, and welcome to my online class where today we're going to be playing with succulents, and I'm going to show you 3 amazingly easy and awesome techniques to use with the Stampin Up Simply Succulent bundle. And they're awesome. Actually, I'm probably going to show you a few more than 3, but 3 basics. We're going to be working with backgrounds, ombre backgrounds, embossing, and die cuts, and with the Stampin Blends. So we'll be making 3 cards, and I just did a little poll before we got started of what your favorite color is from the Saleabration Ombre, also Ombre Designer Series paper was, because we're going to make one of the 4 of these cards because they're all 4 the same. We've got Rococo Rose, Blackberry Bliss, Bermuda Bay, and Granny Apple Green. Aren't they awesome? Oh my gosh, they are just so beautiful. And they're all made with this also Ombre Designer Series paper, and I have some very, very sad news about this paper. So sad. And that is that tomorrow, Sunday, February 28th, depending on when you're watching this, absolute last day to get this paper. It is going forever. It's going bye-bye. Another great thing about this paper is it's a Saleabration item, so you can get it free. Absolutely free. And you can stock up on it. You can get more than one. You get one Saleabration item free with every $50 you place in my online store until tomorrow. It all ends tomorrow. This can be one of your items. I just need to point out that tomorrow's the very last day to get this beautiful paper. So we're going to be working with that today. And then I'm going to show you some embossing and die cuts done with this. And at the end, this is a design from Veronica Zales. She designs some stuff for my blog, and she designed this absolutely gorgeous. And they were all wow cards, right? This one's done with Stampin Blends. So we'll do all 3 of these today. And since you guys are all up early today, today is my Stampin' Demonstrator group's blog hop. It is a spring themed blog hop. What that means is multiple things. One is that you are going to want to pop on over to my blog immediately following this video so that 1, you can take the blog hop tour and get everybody's awesome ideas, and 2, you can enter our giveaway. You can enter multiple times, once on each blog in our hop. We have directions on how to do that there. It's so easy. You just click the button, check out all the inspiring and amazing ideas. My Stampin' group is so unbelievably talented. They blow me away every month when we do our blog hop. I am just completely, actually every day they blow me away, because we have our own group where they share, we all share ideas in there, and I mean, over the top. I mean, my stuff is nothing. I feel like I'm just a kindergartner crafting compared to some of their beautiful, beautiful ideas, but all different levels. I know we have beginners in there too, and they're all beautiful. But you're going to want to go check out their ideas immediately following this video. So I'm going to pop on over to Prize Patrol just one more time. So this is the Prize Patrol. There is a winner from last month's on there. We're giving away You're Amazing this month. You have until March 27th. So if you're watching the replay, you can still enter to win this all the way up until March 27th, all the way. It's a blog hop, a blog comment entry. Sometimes I have video comment entries. Sometimes they're blog comment entries. But this one's a blog comment entry, and all you got to do is comment with the hashtag #StampItContest on my blog. Also, there is a free PDF on my blog. So it has all the measurements and a list of all the supplies that I'm using in today's class. You can download that, and you can download that on my blog. And as soon as I'm done with this video, I understand there might be some issues on my blog, so I will go check that out as soon as I'm done with that too. But you can click on the link in this video's description. You can click, there's a resource page link, or will be, or go to stampwithtami.com to get that. And this is what we're playing with today. Simply Succulents is in the holiday catalog. I'm sorry, the mini catalog, January to June mini catalog from Stampin' Up. You can get it in my online store. You can get them individually, the stamp set and the dies individually or together. They work together. The die images are made to work with these stamps. They're the same size. They cut out the stamps. And so, with that, let's get started. We are going to start today with embossing, our embossing and die cut technique. So move these out of the way for now. This is a super fun and easy technique, a really cool way to use these dies and stamps. So we're going to start with just some regular cardstock here. I've got Rich Razzleberry, Terracotta Tile, which is a retiring end color, Old Olive, and Purple Posy. which is also a retiring ink color. I'm pretty sure I used Highland Heather actually in my original, but I guess today we're using Purple Posy. So there you go. We're going to take some Versamark ink, which is an embossing ink pad. We'll use that to stamp. And then I'm going to take, let's see, what do we want? We're going to take a little flower. Let's do that on some rich raspberry. It's going to be a little bit hard to see because Versamark is a watermarking ink pad. So on the video, it might be a little bit hard to see them because they're just going to be like a light tone on tone. I'm going to go ahead and stamp all of my images, and then we'll do the embossing powder. And I did not put all of my images out here, so bear with me for 1 second. It's early. Blog Hop Day, we do this every month, is the one time of the week that I come on Saturday mornings. Normally I'm on Friday afternoons at noon Eastern Standard Time, but on Blog Hop Day, I come on Saturday mornings, and sometimes I just don't have enough caffeine before I come on here. So that makes it all the more fun, right? Always a good time. Okay, so I've stamped our images. I've got this flower I stamped 3 times on 3 different colors, the pot, and then one of the smaller flowers here. So I'm just going to take some scrap paper, got a little Stamparatus grid paper, and some white Stampin' Emboss powder, and we are going to pour the Stampin' Emboss powder over all of our stamped images. I like to kind of do all of our steps, like all of our stamping, all of our embossing, all of our die cuts, and then all of our assembly, kind of in that order. It goes. I like to do it that way. Some people like to do it one thing at a time, and that's totally okay too. So I'm just flicking off any excess. This is white Stampin' Emboss powder that I'm using today. Melissa says, she said she didn't know she needed this. Oh my gosh, the succulents, they're a sleeper. And what I mean by a sleeper is when you look at it in the catalog, you're like, meh, okay, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with that, right? But let me just tell you, every single card that I have seen with this bundle is a wow card. Everything made with this set is amazing. And I felt the same way, Melissa. I was like, you know, I at first, you know, you only have so much in your budget. So I'm like, oh, I don't know if I need that one. But then as soon as I started seeing the samples, I was like, holy moly, I need that one. It is just beautiful. That happens a lot, right? You don't think you need something, and then you see the samples and changes everything. So I've got a heat tool here. Going to do some heat embossing. So I'm just going to heat up that powder. And that's just going to melt that powder on there. And I'm going to do that with all of these images. And then I'm going to go ahead and take their coordinating dies that are in the set. We've got the flower, the pot, and the small one. And I'm going to take either the Stampin' Die Cut machine or the mini die cut machine. And I am going to cut those out. And through the magic of video, you're going to love this. Ta-da! All done for you. And I went ahead and, sorry, here's the pot. I went ahead and I cut 2. These are also these labels. These labels are also in that die set. They're really cute. They're like similar to the classic label, but they've got a fun little edge on them. So I cut 2 of those. I cut from the Mossy Meadow. I cut some of these little, I don't know what you call these little guys. That they're succulents, right? So they're like cactus and the little things that come off it. Adrian's like, and before you know it, you bought everything in the catalog. So true, right? So true. And that's why I'm a demonstrator. Why? Because I get the discount. You gotta love that discount. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and do some assembly since we've embossed our pieces. We've cut everything out that we need. So let me go ahead and put the pieces here that we're gonna assemble for this card. So we've got our die cuts here. These are all the die cuts. And then our 2 layers of crumb cake for our card base. So actually, you know what? There is one more thing that I probably would have done with my stamping that I didn't, and that is stamping the words. Now I'm going to use some Memento black for that. And the only reason why I'm using Memento over Stays On is because I'm also using Memento on the last card, and I already had it up. But any black will do. You make the ordinary extraordinary. Love it. Love it. And I love the font. I'm a font girl. Okay, so now for some assembly. I loved this idea of using this label as a shelf to put your pieces on. So I'm going to go ahead and all of these flowers, the pot, and you know what? I didn't need 2 of these. I guess I only needed 1. I got a little overexcited with the second one, so I guess we only need 1 of those. Anywho, we're gonna pop those up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm using 2 here. I've got the minis that I'm gonna put on this shelf because it's kind of thin. And all the other pieces there, I'm going to go ahead and use the regular dimensionals on. Ha! We got a jumper. Oh, welcome, Charlene. She says she hasn't made a live in a while. I'm glad you could make this one. It's one thing about coming on at a different time than I normally do. Sometimes I catch some of you that aren't able to make the regular. There's never a time that everybody can make, but sometimes, you know, if you're not able to make the regular time, if I come on at a different time, you can catch it. So there's the bonuses to that. Okay, the only thing I didn't put Stampin' Dimensionals on are these 2, because they're going to go flat, but I'm going to piece them in after. So let's put our shelf down. And then we've got our pot. And then we will piece in our cacti. Are these our succulents? I guess they are. So I want 1 in front. I want a couple behind. And I'm going to just kind of move them around till I like them. And then I'm going to press down. I'm not going to set them, like press and set, until I have them exactly how I want them on there. Which is, I think, like that looks nice. And go ahead and put that one on. Now with these 2, I'm going to do mini glue dots to attach them with because they're small. I'm going to cut up though. So this is a 1 single piece. I'm just going to cut that up. And let's see if I can find my glue dots on the table. So we'll just kind of put those in there like they're coming right out from underneath the pot. So we got a mixed pot here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. If you are watching us live, welcome to our live. The live is always interactive. Like I said, I did a poll. You still have, I still see colors coming. You still have a time to enter that poll. What is your favorite of the Oh So Ombre Saleabration stamp set colors? And the choices are Blackberry Bliss, Bermuda Bay, Rococo Rose, and Granny Apple Green. So far, I don't know. It's very tight. It is very tight. It looks like the colors are all evenly loved. But I think the Rococo Rose might be winning. And we are going to use that. Whichever you guys pick, we're going to use that for the next card. Your vote counts. Because it's very tight. Okay, so it's just some dimensionals on the back of that panel. And that pops it up. So we have our first card technique here was embossing and die cuts. So instead of coloring in the images, we embossed them and cut them out with dies and made a beautiful layered potted succulent card out of that. So that's our first wow. All right, time for our second, and that is where our ombre colors come in. So Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, and Rococo Rose. These were all created, and if you're popping in late, I know sometimes it's hard to get on there right in the beginning. These are all created with the Oh So Ombre Designer Series paper that is available free during Saleabration, which ends tomorrow. If you're watching this live, it ends tomorrow. It ends on Sunday, February 28th. This paper will be gone forever. Okay, still getting some colors in there. I think Blackberry Bliss is my favorite, but I think Rococo has won. I think Rococo has won, and so for that, I think we'll go ahead and make this with Rococo. So, Again, all the measurements are on that free PDF, and I will post. You might be watching live on YouTube or Facebook. By the way, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any of these fun free classes. But if my blog is having a hard time right now, I promise as soon as I'm done here, I will go take care of that, and then I'll post. I'll post on Facebook and let you know that it's fixed. And you can always just check back in an hour or so. Okay, so what I'm taking here is an adhesive sheet. It's we sell these adhesive sheets. These are an older one that I had stocked up on, but it's just all one big sticker. So I'm going to stick it to the back of the basic black panel for this card. So it's one big sticker. This is now one big sticker. Okay. This is the die I'm going to use now. I love this. So I've seen this die used as a stencil, which is gorgeous. I'm going to use it as a really cool framed background. It's going to be a laser, almost like a laser cut, like a design, floral design that's just going to accent that Oso Ombre designer paper just beautifully. So go ahead and put that on the die cut machine. And let's see, so you guys can see the whole thing here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. Put one cut. I've got the platform, thin die adapter, cutting pad underneath, cutting pad on top. Now this one, it cuts really good, especially it's made to go with this Stampin' Up die cut machine, but I'm going to run it through twice just in case, because, I don't know, I like to do that sometimes. Your die cut machine is an ambi turner. You can put in both ways, so I know when I used to do in-person classes, that was something people asked a lot. Which way does it go? Goes either way you want it to. It's a happy machine. Whichever way you feel more comfortable, lefty, righty, go for it. Okay, so now I'm just putting this on the, there's a mat here. This is a die brush mat, and this is the take your pick tool with the die brush attachment on it, which makes life so much easier. So when you go ahead, and it's hard to see because it's black on black, right? But if you can go ahead and get that really good, pretty much all of these little pieces fall right out. And if you have a couple stubborn ones that haven't come out, a paper piercer is perfect for them. Now, because we put this on an adhesive sheet, sometimes they'll stick. They're not attached to the backing of the die, but they'll stick just because of the adhesive sheet. So just be careful not to peel too much of the adhesive sheet off until we're ready to use it. Which will be next, as soon as we get all of these stubborn little pieces out. Okay. There's a couple here that I think are just going to pull out when I peel the backing off. So that came from this die. Gorgeous. Okay, so I've seen a lot more come in here. Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss. I think Rococo's won. I think Rococo won, but it was a close one. It was a close one. So I've pre-cut this, and so you know, I mean, you can flip it over and use Bermuda Bay. It's double-sided there. And there's patterned and plain ombre. They're both ombre. So I'm just going to peel off. The reason why I put that adhesive sheet on there is because it's so delicate. Putting adhesive on the back of that, see how some of those just peeled off with this? Putting adhesive on the back of this is, if you don't do it this way, it can be a little bit of a pain. But this way, as you can see, super easy and no show through. None. So now we're going to go ahead and line that up on our Oso Ombre. Isn't that beautiful? That alone, right? You could do so much just with that. It's just pow, right? So simple, so easy. Now to attach that to our card base, and I've already put some white in there. I do have the measurements for that on the free PDF for you on the resource page. I'm just going to take some seal. I'm sorry for this, Bermuda Bay lovers. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to put this side down. One thing I hate about double-sided paper is that one side always has to be hidden. So sad. Now this panel is exactly the same size as the card base. There we go. So you just want to make sure it's lined up well there so you don't have any overhang. And then I've pre-done this. I've stamped the word thanks and embossed it with heat embossing just like we did with the succulents in the beginning. And if you missed that, if you're popping in late, you can always go back and watch that. Now, if you have black dimensionals handy, they're the perfect thing to use. If you don't, the regular ones work just as well. The only difference is that the black blends right in because we're using black for the label here, so you don't see it at all. Not that you see it anyways because it's hidden. And that is our Oso Ombre card with our Saleabration paper. Yeah, I do have Rococo Rose on my nails. I didn't even notice that. So here you can see it in action in all four of those beautiful colors. Very, very sad to see this paper go. All of Saleabration, by the way, all of Saleabration ends tomorrow. Saleabration is that wonderful time of the year that Stampin' Up! Gives away free limited edition products with every $50 in orders. That means the donkey set and the berry paper, and there is I'm trying to think of what the super popular Oso Ombre, the field and flower, the flower and field paper. All of it's going. It's all going. So tomorrow is the very last day. Jump over to my blog and you might want to place your order if you have not already gotten your favorites there because they're going to be gone forever. So here we go. These are the ombre cards that I just made. And now that was our second technique. So our second technique is the ombre background with the die cut, which is just amazing, right? And our third technique is, drum roll, ta-ta, Stampin' Blends. Sorry. Okay. So Stampin' Blends markers. We're going to color with some blends. Love them. And cool, just a beautiful. It's just so strikingly beautiful, anyways. But some texture on the background here too, and how to make this frame. Super easy though. All right, so let's get started. I've gone ahead and I've pre-stamped the images for us. Anytime you're working with Stampin' Blend markers, you are going to want a sheet of scrap paper underneath so that they're very, very wet markers. They're made to blend, and they blend well when they're wet, and so they will bleed through your paper. And you always want to have something underneath your paper just to protect your workspace. Okay, so first thing everyone's going to ask, I know it's coming. Where did you get your holder? It's not a holder, it's a lid. This is a lid to my, I put all my projects in these little card boxes. You can get them at Target, Walmart, whatever. But that's all this is the lid, and I just put them all in there so it's easy for me to move them in and out of the screen. So I'm going to start with our smoky slate, and the pot we're going to make metal. So it's going to be a metal pot right now instead of the terracotta tile that I just did. Sorry about that, I didn't mean to lean across the screen on you. I'm going to start with the lightest of the Stampin' Blend markers, and I'm just going to color the whole background. Like I said, they work the best when they're wet, when your surface is wet. And they're alcohol markers, so they dry really fast. So if you're working in a large space, you might want to do little pieces at a time, like I'm going to be doing when I do the flower. So then I'm going to move over to the darker Blackberry Bliss. And just like we have a light source coming from this direction, just going to do part of it there. And then blend that in. I'm going to layer a little bit more of that darker right in here. I'm not even going to blend it. I'm just going to layer it so it's really, really dark just over there. And then we're going to take our color lifter and use that to add just a little bit of reflection just in one little part of that bucket there. Isn't that beautiful? Super easy. Super easy techniques. Those are just pretty basic Stampin' Blend techniques. Now we're going to move into our flower. And I apologize, everyone's going to be a lefty today. So we're going to go ahead and color this, and this is where the wow. I mean, like I said, everything I've seen with this bundle is just a wow. And every time I see something new with it, I'm like, I have to do that. But this big detailed flower image colored with the Stampin' Blend markers is just so striking. So I'm starting here with this section, and there's a bunch of different succulents in this pot, so they're going to get a bunch of different colors on them. But I'm starting with the old olive. I colored those in with light, and then I'm just going to kind of go right down the middle almost and add a little bit of darker old olive there. And then we'll use the light to blend that in. All right, so now I'm going to move into mint macaron. And there's a couple of sections here that we're going to do with the mint macaron. I got one here. So I'm going to, again, do that whole flower. And I did it with the lighter mint macaron, and then I'm going to take the darker of the grainy apple green and highlight. And there's almost some image highlight areas here, the tips and the underside of the petals from the actual art of the image, the line art image itself. So I'm going to go ahead and do those, and then I'm going to do the same with this flower over here. And the thing with this is, I don't know, I found I liked it best either way. You could blend those colors in, or you could just leave them. Either way, that looked really cool. And then we've got some Highland Heather. So for Highland Heather, we're going to do this one over here, and we'll do one up here. So again, we'll color that whole thing in. Something so mesmerizing about coloring. Now, the markers have two different tips. We've got a brush tip and a nib tip. So the nib tip is what I'm using to create this accent on the underside of the petals, or the edge of the petals here. So I'm going to do that with the darker. And again, you can leave that, you can blend it, you can go either way with that. I'll leave that one so you can kind of see the difference. And then the last one is this large flower here. I'm going to start by coloring that one in with the grainy apple green. And this is it's a fairly large surface, but I'm going to work fairly quickly, so I think that it'll be okay. So I'm going to start with the nib tip of the darker grainy apple green. Now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to highlight the outside of each petal so it looks like a shadow. That petal is leaving a shadow. So it's just kind of tracing the outline of each one there. See how that just makes them pop? Super easy. Super, super easy. In fact, you know what, let me just bring it in a little bit closer here so you can see a little bit better. It just, I mean, it was such a quick and easy technique to do here, but it really makes that whole thing pop. Now, if you want to, you can blend that in, or you can just leave it flat. It's totally up to you. The last piece I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that darker Highland Heather nib tip and highlight the tips. because I mean, as you know, like cacti and succulents, a lot of times they turn different colors, which are, I mean, they're really cool. You know what's cool about them is they don't need a lot of attention, which is probably good for, you know, someone like me. But you know, the succulents themselves, they don't need a lot of water, and they're really pretty. Bring a little life to the room. So you're going to go around your whole outside here, and then, you know, you're going to color your other ones, and these are just colored the same here with the purple and the green. And then you're going to take the coordinating dies that go with them and cut them out. Cut out the bucket and cut out, I've got a big die that cuts out that big beautiful flower. And through the magic of video, I have that all done for you. Yay! So there was one more little thing that I did, whether you want to do this piece or not, up to you. I took the white chalk pen, because sometimes especially like the cacti have little, well, some of the different strains of them have little dots on them. So I added a few little dots on just a few of these. And you could add it on all of them if you wanted to, but I just thought that really brought it to life. Okay, so then we are going to take the words You've Been on My Mind, stamp them in the Versamark and heat emboss, just like we did in the first card. So if you missed that, you can pop back to the first card to see it. And now we're going to do our background. Get our background ready for... Actually, you know what? There's one more thing I wanted to do. This piece is going to go underneath the bucket. I'm bringing my blends back in here. This piece is going to go underneath the bucket. And I want to create a very light shadow here. So I'm going to take some crumb cake and almost do a little bit of a wash. But I just want it to kind of be in the shape of the bucket. So that when that goes on there, we have just a little bit of I have just a little bit of a shadow there for our bucket. Okay, so for our background, we're going to create our frame. Let me just back up a little bit. I had you in close so you could see the coloring, but when you go for the die cut machine, you definitely want to back out, because that takes up a lot of table space while you're working on it. And I want you to be able to see it. So we're taking our white panel here, and then I'm taking the Stampin' Up Stitch Rectangle dies. Okay, so it is it's the third largest of the dies here. And I'm going to cut right in the middle here to make our frame. I'm going to do this before I use the embossing folder. So we have some scrap to use for another project, and then we've got our frame, and now we're going to texture that. And for that, I'm going to use, and I'm taking off the two cutting pads and the thin die adapter here, and I'm switching to our number 4 pad here. I'm using the textile, it's the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder to give this texture. It's a very subtle texture. Go ahead and put that on. Pull that back through. And we have let me just see if I can hold it there. There you can see it, the textile, the texture on it. It's just enough. It's just enough. And then we're going to take and do the exact same thing with the Pool Party label layer and the Brick and Mortar 3D embossing folder. We're going to run that through, and we're going to get our brick wall. And it's a Pool Party brick wall, so that makes it pretty. right? Everything's pretty in Pool Party. Okay, now we are ready for some assembly. So we're going to go ahead and attach. You know what? Let me just bring all the panels in here so you can see what we're assembling. It's going to go there, and then we've got our die cuts already. So these are our pieces for assembly. So we'll start by putting our panel on here that we used to create our little light shadow. I'm just using some seal adhesive, double-sided tape, and I'm going to use that same adhesive for this frame. It looks like I've got a little smudge on the top of that frame that I don't want on my card, so I am going to use that as the back side. The textile folder can go either way, like the top and the bottom are very similar, so it worked out. So I'll go ahead and attach that over. If you wanted to make this shadow darker, you can use the darker crumb cake to do it. I just really wanted it very, very faint. And then I'm going to attach this panel to, whoa, we do not want that. Down, boy. This panel to our card base with, got a little too excited. I think I pressed down on that a little too hard, to our card. Here we go. So now we've got our background. These pieces are going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. If you have the black mini dimensionals, great for this. If not, regular ones are fine. And then I just used regular ones for the flower in the pot. Good morning. I see a bunch of you just jumped on. Welcome. Welcome to Saturday morning stamping. I'm going to put our bucket right here, line our succulents up so that they're just popping right out of the frame, like so, and then put our words, right about there. Looks good. Gorgeous, right? And the only other thing that I wanted to add here is the elegant faceted gems. So these, if you have your take your pick tool is the easiest way to do them, but you know, if you want to use your fingers, that's okay too. And the champagne colored ones looked really nice, just kind of as little accents around the succulent. And our card is complete. And so that is our third awesome technique for the succulent, simply succulent bundle from Stampin' Up. You can purchase that in my online store. The bundle will be available after tomorrow. It's the ombre paper that is only going to be available till tomorrow. So there is the cards that we created today. If you popped in late, be sure to go back and check those out. Just a couple of things I wanted to share with you. My Butterfly Brilliance Blending Brush Techniques kit is available to special offer on the brand new Butterfly Brilliance collection that will be coming out on Tuesday. So this kit includes the whole kit and caboodle at a special price, and you get a free class. And it's got 5 cards and an actual card holder, so you can give it as a gift if you wanted to. You can get that at stampwithtami.com. And be sure to subscribe to my newsletter while you're there so that you get my free tutorials that I send out every week. And yesterday, actually, I just sent this one out, the Butterfly Brilliance box tutorial. I hope you guys loved that one, made with that same Butterfly Brilliance collection. Reminder that Saleabration ends tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to be sad tomorrow because it's the very last day. And if you love everything you see, you want everything in the online store in the catalog, and you need to budget it, 2 ways to do it. The first way is my VIP online club. It's a great way to get free products. I do 2 free classes every month. I put free tutorials up there for you every week. I love to inspire. I love to send you ideas, and I give you special offers that aren't available to outside of the VIP club as well. So, and you get special discounts on my kit. So my club members get 10% off the butterfly kit right now. The second way is Saleabration. If you join today or tomorrow, if you purchase that demo kit, you get $26 free, and you get 5 free packs of paper. 5. So it's a pretty good deal. You get to pick anything you want. $125, you get free shipping on the kit. You only pay $99. So that is the best way. VIP is the second best way. I hope you have enjoyed this class today. If you're new and you are not yet a subscriber, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming free classes. You get notified of everything, whether you're watching on YouTube, or Facebook. I am live on both at the same time, so I'm there for everybody. And be sure to hit that like button too. And I love to hear your thoughts and your ideas on the classes. So be sure to send me a note. I read all of the notes as soon as I'm not always don't always get a chance to respond, but I always read them. I love to hear what you love, what you maybe don't love. I know somebody said they didn't love the background noise one time. They said it sounded like tennis balls, which was actually my heater. I would have liked to have been able to fix that, but I couldn't. I need the heat. But anyways, I do love to hear your feedback on everything. I hope you have loved the Simply Succulents. You can get the free PDF on my blog. And be sure to take the blog hop tour with my Stampin' Demonstrator group starting now. Go to stampwithtami.com. And thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend.